21-0 your score here live from the rig in Pearland, Texas. The Dawson Eagles lead the South Houston Trojans 21-0. Nick Strong alongside Greg Beatty, former Ohio State wide receiver, Willow Ridge All-Star, All-State, All-American, all-everything here up in the booth with me hanging out, calling some action. Greg, in that first half, the Pearland Dawson Eagles scored 3 touchdowns. Savion Johnson scored 2. Braylon Mouton scored 1. Nevertheless, the score is only 21-0. Don't want to discredit anything on the Dawson offensive side of the football, but the South Houston Trojans has shown that their season may be over. They may not have made the playoffs, but the season is not over for them. They've got something to build on for next football season.
Well, they're definitely building for the future. They have 14 sophomores, and what they're doing tonight is actually they're establishing themselves as a very competitive football team, and they're showing a lot of resiliency in this ball game.
And as they get the ball first here in the second half, and the ball will fly over their head, a touchback there for the South Houston Trojans as they'll start things off from the 25-yard line. The South Houston Trojans are going from left to right on your computer screen. Red pants, white shirt. Dawson Eagles going from right to left. Navy pants, red stripe, red shirt, white helmet. Both teams actually donning the white helmet out there. 21-0 your score. Upstairs in the booth live from the Pearland, Texas at the rig. We've got Friday Night Football here on TexanLive.com. South Houston Trojans still trying to get on the scoreboard as they have yet to reach the end zone here in this contest. They'll start things off here with the running back and the quarterback, actually, number in the backfield. That is, number 22. Josh Williams.
Well, one thing about it, they definitely know who they are as a football team. They definitely come out, and they came out to start the game with a very methodical approach, running the football, pride in attack, and they try to eat up a lot of clock. Even though they're down 21-0, they're definitely going to stay true to who they are, and I think they're just trying to build for the future, just establishing that identity of the team they want to be.
Joshua Romero under center, 3 backs in the backfield. Here comes the handoff, and right up the gut, stopped by that big defensive unit of the Pearland Dawson Eagles. Make it 3rd down and about 4 coming up here for the South Houston Trojans.
Obviously a passing down, but with the South Houston Trojans, you never know because they actually don't like to pass. So let's see if they can catch Dawson off guard. I know Dawson is anticipating a run, so this would be a good opportunity for them to maybe do a play-action pass or maybe slip a receiver out behind the defensive backfield.
10:55 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Here comes the big handoff and a 1st down and a whole lot more for number 5, Josh Williams of the South Houston Trojans. 1st down coming up here for the Trojans.
Well, when you got big Josh Williams and he's running over there behind number 59, which is David Espinal, and number 56, Antonio Hernandez, who set up with some very nice blocks on that play. That was let's see if my offensive line is better than yours. Get some push, 1st down.
1st and 10 from the 32, triple back formation. Here comes the pitch. Davion Williams going top side of your screen. And about to the line of scrimmage they go. Make it 2nd down and at most 10 for the South Houston Trojans here.
South Houston, again, very methodical in their approach, running the ball, running a lot of clock, using every second of the play clock, every second of the time clock, and they're down 21-0, so they're going to have to mix it up some. They're going to have to find a way to mix in a pass every now and then.
We'll call it 2nd and 10 from their own 43-yard line. 3rd quarter here, 9:54 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Here comes the play action. Romero stopped in the backfield by the Glenda Dawson Eagles defensive line.
There was
a long 3rd down coming up here for the Trojans.
Well, that was the pass that I've been calling for, but I think Dawson was anticipating it. They just happened to be anticipating at the same time that they were going to probably try to catch him sleeping with a pass attempt, and the offensive line just could not hold water as the Dawson defensive line did a tremendous job of getting duress, of putting the quarterback under duress.
We'll make it 3rd and 20 from their own 34-yard line. Double back formation, 2 receivers set. Romero drops back. Here comes the handoff. A flag flies on the play. May go against the South Houston Trojans, or it may go against the Eagles. Nevertheless, 4th down if it doesn't stand, and it does go against the Trojans. He's going to decline.
Mask.
Coach Walls is going to decline, and he's going to make it 4th down here for the Trojans.
Right, it was a face mask against. It was a face mask against Dawson.
Oh,
I
it is
thought he pulled.
against
I thought he
okay.
pulled. I thought I saw him pull Josh Williams' face mask. It was very hard to tell from here. When I thought I saw his head yank back, and that was of the 15-yard variety, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you're not mistaken because those chains are moving. First down and more for the South Houston Trojans as they walk across the Pearland Dawson 50-yard line into their own territory. First and 10 from the 49. 21-0 your score here. Pearland Dawson leading the South Houston Trojans. 8:47 left to go here in the third quarter. Here comes the handoff right up the gut, right up the middle. Second down and about 7 coming up here after the 3-yard gain for the Trojans.
Well, great job on first down. I mean, that's a great push by the offensive line. It wasn't tiptoeing. The running back wasn't tiptoeing, wasn't tepid in his approach. Great job of gaining a good 3 yards on first down, setting up a nice 2nd and 7. And let's see what they elect to do here. Pretty sure it's going to be another run, but it's all about if the offensive line can control the line of scrimmage and get a push.
Okay, so I see number 22, Joshua Romero, the starting quarterback. He lines up at the top of your screen, and here comes the false tip. Tip was bobbled by the quarterback there, and a high snap rather by the center.
Well, that was a wildcat formation. I don't think Dawson was fooled in that case. I think they knew that the quarterback, it was going to be a direct snap, obviously, to the quarterback. And I think they knew they were anticipating a run. They wasn't anticipating a pass. And bad snap by the center. But Dawson had great penetration and a great push through the offensive line to get back in the backfield.
Joshua Romero works out the gun. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers set, 1 up top, 1 down low. Romero drops back to pass, has a receiver going on top of your screen, and ball pass is incomplete. Almost had the one-on-one coverage looking for Corey Hubbard at the top side of your computer screen. Nobody home. 4th down coming up here for the Trojans.
Well, they had the right idea. I think they may have went in at halftime, and I think the coaches, as a coaching staff, probably talked about it. Hey, we have to find a way to open this game up some and try to loosen this Dawson defense up because they're just coming after the quarterback and the running backs in the running game. And, even though that pass was incomplete, that's a great job of at least trying to pass to loosen them up.
4th and 13, and this Trojan team is going to punt. And inside the 20, the ball rolls at the 15-yard line, exactly on the white line, almost like when you used to play that game pitching quarters, something like that.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And, I mean, he got that ball as closest to the 15-yard line as he could.
Well, it was a nice roll, too. It was a nice end-over-end kick, nice punt. And it was just a great job by the punter. Now, let's see if South Houston can play some defense. I'm sure Dawson is going to come out and try to once again establish the line of scrimmage, mano a mano. Let's see if my offensive line, actually South Houston, let's see if they can establish themselves down here at the
7:18 left to go here in the third quarter. 21-0 your score. Here comes the handoff right back up to Savion Johnson, and he's starting where he left off inside of the first half with those 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing and 1 catching TD inside the end zone. He grabs about maybe 7 yards on that play, make it about 2nd and 3 here for the Dawson Eagles. 3 receivers set. Here comes the handoff. Right back to Johnson. Top side of your screen. Getting through a defender. Breaks another one. Breaks another one. And breaks another one inside of the 45-yard line, 35-yard line. Here come the Dawson Eagles with another first down.
Well, Savion Johnson I mean, I could definitely see him playing on the next level because he has all the skill set to be a great back at the next level.
3 receivers set. Here comes the handoff one more time. Savion Johnson is, breaking them up and picking them down. Or picking them up and breaking them down, rather.
Right, and that's a great tackle by number 44 of South Houston, and that would be 44 would be who would 44 be? Jamarcus Coleman. That's who it is. And one thing about Savion Johnson, he's very elusive. He has great vision as a running back, and he breaks tackles. He's a very hard runner and tough runner.
Backs formation. Here he comes. Savion Johnson again inside the 45-yard line into Trojan territory. Not enough for the first down. We'll call it 2nd and 1. Actually, they're going to give him the first down, make it 1st and 10 inside the 45-yard line of the Trojans.
Well, he's definitely proven to be a workhorse. I saw him a few weeks ago, and one thing about him, he presses the hole. He has nice patience as a running back, great vision, and he's not a breakaway speed guy.
Shotgun formation, 2 backs in the backfield. Zach Smith hands it off, back up the gut, and inside of the 35-yard line here, and almost did he get it? No. Was he tackled first or the fumble there? No fumble.
No, I
But
think.
coming away with it at the end was Jamarcus Coleman. You talked about him earlier. He's trying to strip the ball and trying to get it away from the Trojans.
Well, one thing I would do as a coach, one thing I would preach. I mean, I know the first thing you have to do is teach the fundamentals. Make sure your team practice great fundamentals in tackling. But I would definitely teach stripping the football. Go after that ball.
3 receivers set. Here comes Zach Smith rolling out far side. Has a receiver. No. And almost in the hands of Drank Rayner. Couldn't reel it in. Almost a touchdown if he catches it. We'll call it 3rd and short still here for the Dawson Eagles.
Well, Rayner was going toward the corner. That was like a flag route. He had another receiver. He had number 12. Which is Braylon Mouton. He had him short, but he elected to try for Rayner for the deeper pass, just incomplete.
3rd and short here from the 35-yard line of the South Houston Trojans. Dawson Eagles going from right to left on your computer screen. 3 receivers set, twins low, single man up top. Here comes the handoff. Savion Johnson across the middle, across the 30. First down, breaking defenders. Coming to the 20, inside the 20 to the 15 as he's pushed out of bounds with about a 17-yard gain there for the Dawson Eagles. Savion Johnson is on fire.
But once again, Savion Johnson right there, he showed great elusiveness. Nice juke move, was leaving defenders in his wake. He's a very hard runner, breaks tackles, great feet, and just a very impressive running back.
In the backfield now is Darius Smith, the sophomore. He's in the backfield now. And Zach Smith holds on to it as he's breaking some ankles out there as he gets inside the 15. And we're talking about not only are the running backs elusive here for the Dawson Eagles, but even the quarterback has a couple of juke moves.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, this team is full of athletes. If you go with Zach Smith, you go Savion Johnson, you got Braylon, Braylon Mouton, number 12, the receiver. They have some talent on that Dawson team.
Darius Smith in the backfield, shotgun formation. He gets the ball. Here comes the run. He's broken down by the South Houston defensive line as he steps inside the 10-yard line, right back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down coming up here for the Dawson Eagles. They'll mark it inside the 10, 3rd and about 2.
Definitely could be a running down right here. Let's see what Dawson elects to do. I mean, you have a
Zach Smith lines him up, 2 backs in the backfield, shotgun formation. Here comes the quarterback keeper, Zach Smith, into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. An 8-yard touchdown run by Zach Smith.
great job by Zach Smith of hitting that hole with some abandon and with no fear, but more importantly, a great job by the offensive line of setting them up with some great blocking. You know, one thing I was noticing, though, I don't want to be too critical because it was a touchdown, but I noticed the receivers on the right side, you can't, against a better team, you can't practice bad habits. You got to come off the ball as if it's a passing play. You can't tip it off. You have to come off the ball as if it's a passing play, even though you're going to block. You can't tip off the defense, and let them think that and let them know that it's a running play. So you have to be cognizant of the fact that the players are paying attention.
28-0 your score here live from the rig. The Dawson Eagles go up even more on the South Houston Trojans. We'll be right back. TexanLive.com.
The body is incredibly powerful. It's nimble and fluid, but sometimes we push it too far. That's when you need the strength of Memorial Hermann and our body of affiliated orthopedic specialists. With our Ironman Sports Medicine Institute, they not only get your body back to where it was, they get it to go further. It's what makes us more than just hospitals. We are a body of experts. Memorial Hermann, advancing health.
And there is the kickoff as the Dawson Eagles put it out of bounds. Actually, they're going to throw the flag there. Illegal procedure as it went out around the 2-yard line. 28-0 your score. The Eagles lead the Trojans here, Greg. Live from Pearland Stadium at the rig. Zach Smith with an 8-yard touchdown run into the end zone gives the Eagles a 28-0 lead here on the South Houston Trojans. 2 touchdowns for him. Actually, 3 touchdowns for him tonight. 2 passing and his first rushing touchdown.
Well, like I said, he's a dual threat type of player. He can pass the ball as well as run the ball. So it keeps the defense honest because you don't really know what to prepare for. You have great weapons around you. You know, Savion Smith, who's been running like a beast, like a madman all night. So that actually opens it up for Zach Smith as well.
Here comes the play. Here comes the pitch from the South Houston Trojans at around their own 30-yard line and grabbing maybe about 7 or 8 yards for the South Houston Trojans. Call it about 2nd and 3 coming up here for Soho.
Great job by the Trojans. You know, great push by the offensive line. Great job on first down to actually gain 7 yards, and that leaves them with a 2nd and 3, a very manageable 2nd and 3.
2nd down and 3 here for the Trojans. Here comes the handoff again. And right up the gut, a loss of actually right back to the line of scrimmage. They'll call it still 3rd and 3 from about the 37-yard line.
Well, 3rd and 3, you know, I mean, Dawson is just looking for the run game. You know, they don't respect their passing game at all. So 3rd and 3, you should try to do some misdirection to offset this pass rush and this fierce defensive line. You need to find a way. There's a pitch out that doesn't go anywhere because once again Dawson is sitting on the running game. I mean, there's no passing game. And
4th down coming up here for the Trojans. We'll call it 4th and about 3. And not sure if they're going to go for it here. And they're going to bring on the punting unit here.
Yeah, I mean, 4th and 3, you're pretty much, you know, I mean, even though you're down 28-0.
Yeah, and you're inside your own 40-yard line.
And you're inside your own 40. You're pretty much conceding the game right there. You know, it's still some time left. They just need to play, you know, just continue to fight and continue to compete.
Back deep to receive this punt, number 12, Braylon Mouton. And Mouton is going to take it. Take it from around the 37-yard line as he's trying to break some defenders. And he loses a couple of yards, maybe a little bit too anxious there, doing a little bit too much. I think he should have probably just called a fair catch on that one.
I think he should have called a fair catch as well. But to his credit, he did make sure that he secured the catch.
He did.
At least he enabled his team to have possession of the football. So, you know, he can learn from that. You know, the next time maybe you should be a better judge and call a fair catch. But great job of securing the catch. I'm not going to beat him down too much. I know how it is to be back there as a punt returner.
Oh, you want it.
You
want it every time.
Yeah,
just
man,
in case.
you know.
Just in case.
I mean, you're like, hey,
So
let me give me one. Let me see if I can take one to the house.
3 receivers set here for the Eagles. Zach Smith still back into pass. No, almost had a receiver there. Tune in to Fox Sports Southwest tonight after our game from 11 to midnight for the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show presented by Texan Drive. Join Howard Chin, Ted Johnson, Courtney Rowland, Courtney Madden as they take you around the city with all the week's football action. The Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show presented by Texan Drive tonight from 11 to midnight on Fox Sports Southwest. 2nd and 10 here for the Eagles. 3 receivers set, twins down low, single man up top. Zach Smith still in the shotgun position. And he takes it himself around a couple of defenders to inside the 40-yard line, past the 40, short of the 45-yard line, about a 7 or 8 yard gain there for the Eagles. We'll call it 3rd and about short here. Make it 3rd and about 2 here for the Eagles.
Well, this is definitely a running. I mean, you know, you have Savion Johnson as well as Zach Smith who can keep the football. This is definitely a running situation. I'm sure they're just going to try to pound the football up 28-0 and see if they could just wear this defensive line down.
Zach Smith with the handoff. Savion Johnson running through defenders, still on his feet to the 35-30, 35-20, 10-5. No, he's out at the 1-yard line. Great run there by Savion Johnson and Coach Greg Mayde. We've seen we've seen the second coming tonight.
Hey, this guy is something special. I really look forward to watching him on the next level. Man, I know he's a senior. I'm sure he's getting recruited by a lot of schools, but just a great feel for the running back position. You know, very elusive as I've stated. Hard-nosed runner, great vision. Love watching that guy run the ball.
Savion Johnson still in the backfield right now. 2 backs in the backfield. Savion Johnson to the left. He gets the handoff into the end zone. Touchdown, Johnson. A 1-yard touchdown run by Savion.
Well, man, I almost look like Herschel Walker right there.
Oh, boy.
Trying to go up and over, but, hey, great job by the offensive line of getting that push. And Savion Johnson is just a man playing with boys right now.
Savion Johnson into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown tonight. 2 rushing, 1 catching. Here comes the extra point. The extra point is up. The extra point is good. 35-0 your score here. Live from the rig. It's Friday Night Football on TexanLive.com.
Hey, it's Bert.
And Jamie. During our summer clearance event, we need to move our 2015s.
And you can count on a big selection.
A team dedicated to treating you better and low prices.
Like new Sierra Cruise discounted $12,400. That's right, folks. That's over 31%. And we have hundreds to choose from. Or a new Acadia for $299 a month.
Thanks for making us one of the fastest growing dealerships in the nation.
Texan Buick GMC, located Highway 59 in Will Clayton. Or shop 24/7. TexanDrive.com. We treat you better.
35-0 your score here. Savion Johnson with his 3rd touchdown tonight. 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdowns, all inside of the end zone for the Dawson Eagles. 1:34 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Live from the rig, the Eagles lead this one 35-0 over the South Houston Trojans. Nick Strong alongside Greg Mayde in here tonight, hanging out with you, having some fun. And, I mean, although the score is 35-0, we've actually seen some decent football tonight.
Yeah, and one thing I'm sure Coach Lane is preaching to his team is just to continue to fight. I mean, they've really shown a lot of competitive spirit here tonight, and they shouldn't hang their heads low by no means, even though they're down 35-0. They're playing 14 sophomores, very young team that's actually building for the future. So what they have to do is just continue to press on, finish this game on a high note, on a positive note, continue to try to establish themselves and their identity as far as being a tough physical football team, and things will work out for them in the long run.
This is like that pitcher in baseball who loses the game 4-0, but you had that 1 grand slam.
Hey,
that's all it was.
I know all about it because I'm a Washington Nationals fan. and Drew Storen, my man Drew Storen gave up one of those, and it just killed me.
Here comes the pass up top, completion for the South Houston Trojans. Not sure if he got back. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage. We'll call it 2nd and 9.5 there for the South Houston Trojans.
Well, now, hey, though you're down 35-0, even though you're a running team, why not try some passes right here? I mean, you have to get your receivers and your quarterback and even your offensive line used to some type of pass protection. You have to be a creative offense. You can't be a one-trick pony. So you have to work on a various amount of things.
3 receiver set coming here for the Soho Trojans. Back in the backfield, working out the gun. Romero takes it himself, keeps it himself, right back up the gut. A gain of about 1.5. Call it 3rd and 9 here for the Soho Trojans.
Well, let's see if they elect to try and pass again. At some point, I thought number 2. Who is that number 2? Richard Jackson. I've been waiting for him. To test some of these Dawson cornerbacks all night. Richard Jackson, I know, has some type of athletic ability, some type of ability as a receiver. But you have to, you got to get a guy a chance, man. You have to let him.
3rd and 8, 3 receiver set, twins low, single man up top, 2 backs in the backfield, and a stop behind the line of scrimmage there by the Dawson Eagles. The South Houston Trojans just didn't have any push here on this drive.
Hey, well, that tackle, they look like my pops. My pops back in the day, man. I'm gonna give my pops a shout out, man. Donald Beatty, he used to tackle like that back in high school at Row High in Jasper, Texas.
East
man. As
Texas.
a matter of fact, they're number 23, All-State, 1968, and actually was nominated for the Prairie View Hall of Fame, the Prairie View Interscholastic Hall of Fame, nominating great high school players. And actually, that play reminded me of my pops, man. That was a great tackle by that defender.
Seconds left to go here in the third quarter. 35-0 your score. The Dawson Eagles lead the South Houston Trojans. 4th and 8 here, and the Trojans will punt this one away. Drake Rayner deep back to receive this punt, stands at the 49-yard line. Here comes the snap. The punt is up, and not a great punt. Touches a South Houston defender, actually, a couple of them, as it rose to the 48-yard line. That'll do it here. 12:24, 36 minutes in the books here. We've got 12 more to play when we return after this break. The Eagles lead the Trojans 35-0 here live. You're listening to Friday Night Football on TexanLive.com.
At Panera, we decided a long time ago to avoid the easy road and switch to antibiotic-free chicken. That decision set a lot of things in motion. So now it's not just chickens raised this way. It's more ingredients you can trust. Which has taught us a lesson. Sometimes what you think is the harder road turns out to be the only one worth being on.